everybody.
Hey, what's happening, Mo? You good? What's up, Jay?
Yeah,
what up,
dog? What it do? All right. First week hosting. Let's see how I do, okay? Yeah, like give me a grade at the end. So everybody, welcome to Beyond. Why y'all laughing? This is serious stuff here. Okay? Welcome everybody to Beyond the Bleacherz with James Hugh, the host with the most, Monique. We on E-Block Radio. Check us out on Mondays from 6 to 8. And we got, I'm going to try a new word, sports-tastic show for y'all tonight. We'll be talking about the NFL free agency, the NCAA tournament, see you got early predictions going on, see if, at the end, see if somebody right. We got YTO was rejected again by the NFL Hall of Fame, which is crazy. The University of Michigan plane scare, like I bleed maize and blue, so that was scary. But anyway, we awesome because we come back and win. We got these NBA players talking about taking off work. Nothing wrong, just, I'm tired. And LeVar Ball, Lonzo Ball's dad, is he good for his son's career, or is he going to be a hindrance? And finally, a new segment we're trying out because it's happened so much is our Foot in the Mouth segment. And this week, we got Andre. All these names. There we go. From the Warriors. So, let's get into the show. Recently, in the past week, this is not sports related, it's just life. The Detroit has had no power.
Ooh.
Like, so horrible. Last Wednesday, which is one of the reasons that the Michigan plane slid off, is we had storms coming from a hurricane somewhere else at 50 to 60 miles per hour. I mean, trees falling, power lines, kids getting blown, like literally a little girl was getting blown away by the wind.
Jeez.
So we wanted to talk about that. And I know my power went out Wednesday night, and it came back on Friday night. I was lucky because there's still people right now without power.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, mine didn't go on until like Sunday afternoon. So, it's been crazy. That's been a disaster. People still without power. I'm looking at the news, people begging and crying, man. This dude is begging for power, man. Because, in some places they still don't have it.
Yeah, I was out of power from Wednesday afternoon, actually, about 1 o'clock Wednesday afternoon until probably Sunday. Oh,
wow.
Yeah, man, it was so bad, and it was like to the point where you was coming. Like I get off work at freaking 5 a.m. So it's still kind of dark at that time, So it's, you're talking pitch black. Walking in an apartment complex, you know what I'm saying? Don't know who's waiting, who's, seizing the opportunity to do something, or animals getting in the crib. You know what I'm saying? You don't know anything. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't really see anything. So and on top of that, man, the temperatures are dropping. Well, we're dropping and stuff. So Friday was just. Well, Saturday morning when I got home, it was super cold, man. It was freezing so bad, man. But I just hope and pray that everybody is all right. No lives are lost, especially the elderly or the youngsters, you know what I'm saying? Because I know people had babies and, small children and stuff. And Monique just said, a little girl got blew by the wind, man, and this stuff is so crazy. So I hope the people who did have power and stuff help their families out. No matter what the hell was going on, just help your families out. And it's like you said, Hugh, it's people who still don't have power, man. People still saying, they still telling people to tonight or tomorrow.
Definitely let me know now not to hesitate to tell my neighbors I love them, man, because I grew up with a lot of my neighbors, man. They looked after me as a kid until now, so I didn't know that I'd be that worried about, people in my life until that happened. I was calling them. I told them, if you can see how many times I called y'all, man, I was blowing y'all phones up to make sure that you're okay. I had to get cell phone numbers from them, like a backup number, just in case, to make sure if they needed anything or if I could do anything to help them. So, yeah, it was a really tough situation, man, and it was rough for me, man, because I had to, chill in the house, man. I just thank God for my grandma quilts, man, that she had, man. I didn't even know they were going to come in handy. I'm cleaning up and found them. Wore that, had some extra, warm heat and protection from that. Besides that, man, trying to get ready and go to work, man, I was just thanking God when I did go to work that I could have heat and, stuff that, where I can be okay. But, yeah, it was a really rough situation, man. They let you know we take a lot for granted, man. I just, thank God, man, for, the lights and the gas and stuff right now, man, because it's cold, man, and we still under a winter advisory. We got snow today, and it's possible we're going to get some more tomorrow.
Yeah, it was over 800 people without power, 800,000 people without power.
That's
and
a lot.
Like they saying that that's like the biggest power outage that DC has had to deal with. Besides, I think it might have been bigger than that blackout that we had. I don't think, no. Never mind. Let's take that back. Rewind.
Nah, that was way out to New York.
Yeah, but what's sad is that somebody was on Facebook saying that a couple of things. One, that they didn't even know that their power was out, because in some areas, like one side of the street would have power, and then the other side of the street wouldn't.
Yeah.
And so, they would think if you didn't call, and a lot of people figure, well, they know the power out over here, I don't have to call. No, you have to call, because if they saying that if it's only your side of the street that don't have power, they thinking this area is, has power, so they're not really gonna come over there. So the lady had to call in, hey, everybody else got power except for these 5 houses over here. And they was like, oh, okay. Well, we didn't even know because it was so small a number. And then another one found out that they said it was only 63 people in the area without power. So it was a low priority area. And which sucks because no.
Jeez.
So you mean my life, these 63 families are less important than these 100 and something families over here? While I understand that it's more people that you have to worry about, but don't tell me that I'm a lot low priority. If I pay my bills just like the groups with people, with hundreds of people with their power, I'm less of a customer or a priority because it's only 10 people over here when they got 60 over there. That's so messed up. And another thing that I saw, but it happens. It happens in every industry. When emergency happens, price gouging. When the Flint thing went up, they had water. The price of water was going up because it was in demand. You need this water, so you're going to spend what you have to spend to get this water. Now, it's a hotel in Southfield, Edgewood Gardens. I like this place on the regular. It might sound hood, but after I got married, me and my wedding party, we got 2 rooms in there and we partied. So good. But however it works out, we have fun. But now, they were trying to charge $500 a night because people didn't have power and they knew that people would pay it. Then I heard about a cheap little hotel on the boulevard across the street from Northwestern. I didn't even know this place was still open. And if it was open, I did not think it was open to other people than, people that, I don't know a nice word, people that work the street, dealt with it. But
night
walkers. Yes, the night walkers, the red light district folks, they wanted $150 a night. And we're booked. And it's like, wait a minute, this is normally $2 a night. What is like really, you're really taking advantage of people in their time of need. Yeah. And it says a lot about society that you really want people got to be out without power for all this time. You want to pay you $500. That's rent.
Yeah,
for one night.
For a night, man. Wow.
It's crazy. But like I said, I was blessed. And I'm glad, Jay, your power back on. Hugh, you back on too?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. See, we working with fire. But again, we know Beyond the Bleacherz sends prayers out, and that everybody still without power gets their power back on. 'Cause, it's going to get warmer, but it's still cold. Like this Michigan. It's about to snow again.
It'll snow today and everything, man. I looked outside, I'm like, man, I'm not going though. I was about to go to the store, and I'm like, man, I'm not about to, not even about to do it.
Yeah, it's bad, but let's get to sports. So we're going to keep it with the win theme and talk about the Michigan basketball team whose plane was on the runway in Willow Run Airport, and they had to stop the takeoff because the winds were too high. But in doing that, with the strong winds, like we already said, it blew around a little girl. It pushed a plane. Like, these winds wasn't no joke. Like, they was like, look, puff and puff, and here I am, slid the airplane through a gate, into a ditch, and it finally stopped like right before some trees. So, do you think that this would make other teams be a little more fearful about flying, or is it just be as far as like the airport staff saying, look, we can't, being more aware of the weather conditions? James?
Well, I know when I saw it, I happen to, I get a lot of alerts on my phone, Bleacher Report, stuff like that. And when I saw it, I saw like University of Michigan plane scare and all this. And I'm like, oh, what the hell? I went into a panic, and I saw they were okay or whatever, and then I started reading a little bit more into it, and I said, damn, this weather hasn't been playing around. And you look back in history, you see there's been a lot of whole teams being caught in plane crashes, stuff like that. A soccer team from back in the day, I think it was like the 80s or something like that, whole plane crashed. One of our alum at McKenzie, man, Daniel Lawson passed away, Oklahoma State plane, you know what I'm saying? They plane crash, stuff like that. This here, you can't predict Mother Nature. Mother Nature is very unpredictable. And when Mother Nature hits, she hits. And she's unapologetic about it. Like it could come out of nowhere. Just like I said, we had high winds last week, knocked everybody's power out. Now we got snow out. Tomorrow it may be sun, melt all the snow, and we may be back to normal for a while. You never know. Something else may happen, whatever. God forbid it doesn't. She has mercy on us. But I think that they do need to start looking at these types of things on the news, the for the weather and stuff like that, because that could have been bad. That could have been bad. And a goddamn basketball game isn't worth the lives of those young men on that plane. Whether they got to play a game at a certain time or not, you got to delay it or do whatever, let the winds calm down, and then put them up in the air. They got blew off the damn runway. So, I mean, I think any sort of traveling probably would have been real rough, because of the winds, how high speed the winds were. And like you said, it blew a damn plane. A plane weighs more than a vehicle, a motor vehicle, a car or a truck or whatever. So, dude, it's a dicey situation as far as, that, but I think they need to start taking more precautions as far as looking and seeing, okay, it's going to be high winds. We're going to chill for a minute, see what these winds do. We're gonna post y'all up for a minute, but came to find out that, Michigan ended up winning the Big Ten tournament, which was exciting, but, it could have been bad to the point where they weren't even able to play a game, so congratulations to the Wolverines for winning, and I'm happy that they're okay, man.
Hugh?
Just feel like it was a travesty that those guys' lives could have been in more danger, man. I don't feel like that they paid attention to what was going on, man. If you know that it's 70 miles per hour winds and you're going somewhere, man, you need to definitely pay attention to that, man. I don't even think they really care sometimes, man. I just think about how they feel about not even caring about the athlete, but more or less about the program itself. And it's bigger than the program, man. When you got these kids out here, man, who are not getting paid, to put their lives on the line for something so petty. It definitely was something that I took approach and I listened to and I was upset about, man, because like you said, we lost Daniel Lawson in the plane crash. And this was something that was very extreme, those winds. If it could push a plane and it's like tumbling kids like tumbleweeds and stuff, man, like it's a paranormal activity or something, then
right.
That it's something you got to definitely take precaution for, man. Definitely was upset with that and definitely feel like they need to pay more attention and look at the weather and everything that's surrounding them before they make these decisions.
Yeah, it's like I agree with you, Hugh. It does seem like, in a lot of businesses, period. As a student, it's just you want to school, get your education, or and play your sports or whatever. But as an organization, they're about making money. Michigan sports makes millions and millions of dollars every year. Like in 2015, they were ranked third nationally in revenue with $157.9 million. This is in 2015. Like they the top of the Big Ten. They make money. So we all knew, regular people, you didn't have to be a meteorologist. We can look at the weather and they say, look, 50 to 60 mile per hour winds. As regular people, we like, okay, let's not get on this plane. Let's go out here and go bike riding because it had been warm, so you could possibly be riding your bike. The day before. Michigan, we get every season in one day sometimes, or in a week, every season in a week. But it's like, come on, y'all knew. Y'all pay people to know these things. Y'all knew this wind was going to be here. Instead of saying, okay, well, we trying to make some money here. We got to get y'all here on time. We might miss money or have to be fined or something if y'all not here on time. Or if you're not here on time, you might not do as well, so we might lose money that way. they want to push you on the plane. Instead of doing that and thinking, well, I have these players here. If they die because of our negligence, we're going to lose money anyway.
Right.
They were just looking at the money and was like, let's go. Let's get on. If you can get on, then we can go. No. You know what I'm saying? So I think they need to do what I love Michigan. And it's not just a Michigan thing. It's a lot of businesses. Anytime money is involved, people tend to put the money before the person.
Yes. Yeah.
All the time.
We had an incident in my job. I'm not going to say where I work. Most people know where I work at, but we had an incident on our job where an older gentleman that works with us had a heart attack. It was almost fatal. Like, it was a bad heart attack. Like, he's just learning how to talk again. And he passed out on the line. So they stopped the line and they had to resuscitate him. Like, he was out for about 10 minutes. Like, he was gone for 10 minutes. They resuscitated him, took him to the to emergency, you know what I'm saying, or whatever, to the hospital. Everybody thought he was gone, you know, and we were kind of mourning because we had worked with this man for years, like years. Some people I had worked with him for about I want to say about 5-6 years. Other people had been with him for over 20, you know. So, you know, those are best friends. You know, when you work with people so much like that, you know, when you work with those people, they become like family to you. You know what I'm saying? You know who their family are and stuff like that. Y'all hang out outside of work and all that type of stuff. So you care for people, you know. So they shut operations down for that time because it was close to lunch break. They had everybody go to lunch at the same time. Had us all go to lunch early. Then have us come back to work and then work like nothing happened. Our union didn't come down, see if anybody was okay. Like, no administrators, nobody came on the floor, see if everything was straight, see if people wasn't, you know what I'm saying? I mean, because that was a traumatic event, you know, so I just relate that to this, man. Like, you can't, like, risk people's lives and stuff like that just for a personal gain. Like, I mean, that damn product or whatever ain't worth a person's life. Like, that's human life right there. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, I don't know. I don't understand it, and I think I never will, or I'll never try to understand that type of mess.
But let's move from there. Go Blue. Good luck in the tournament. So let's stick on the NCAA thing. Okay? Let's talk about the this NCAA tournament. Do y'all got any early predictions? Hugh?
Not really necessarily. I know who some of the 4 teams I wanted to be in there. You know, one of them, of course, is Blue, and I'm a huge fan of North Carolina Tar Heels. I got to see how everything go with the other teams before I pick the other ones. But yeah, just really keeping a close eye on things. I love this time of year. I know this time of year last year, my regular light bill and gas bill was almost like the winter bill because I had the split screen TV. I had everything, watching it from my telephone, my tablet, my laptops, and just really exciting time of year. But I know them 2 teams are some I definitely want to be in there for sure. You know, maybe Villanova, I'm not sure, but yeah, I'm just looking at the tournament now and seeing what's what. But I would definitely love to see Michigan win another one, you know. But until then, I'm going to just sit back and see what happens because I know a lot of upsets happen, and it's like the best time of year because some of those teams that you at least expect to do well probably be in the Elite 8. So, yeah, I'm just basically waiting for that Cinderella team and seeing what's going to happen and just sit back and relax and enjoy the tournament because this is like the best time of year for me when it comes to college, you know, when they hooping in this March Madness tournament.
All right, James. I know you already got your winner picked out. every single thing. So let's see who the overall winner is going to be.
Oh man, I picked between two teams, and I think how the brackets are set up, I think they'll actually meet in the Final Four. I haven't looked back at it. I always try to keep my credibility, so I never try to go back and check unless I have to about stuff or about facts or whatever. I like to kind of embed it in my mind, but I'm gonna either take Kansas or Kentucky. I think they are the strongest teams in the tournament because they have bigs and then they have strong guard play. And in the NCAA tournament, guard play is essential. That's why you saw Michigan some years ago when they had Trey Burke and all those guys. They had stellar guard play, and they had guards coming off the bench too, and they can go small. So they cause fits for a lot of teams because they can get up and down the floor, and they can stretch the floor, and those bigs get tired. Kansas and Kentucky got them both. And they got deep benches, and they're young, they're energetic guys. So they're going to be tough to beat. Would I like Michigan to go somewhere? Of course I would. Of course. And they're actually my surprise pick to go to the Sweet 16. But I think you can't count UCLA out either because they're a strong team too. But Lonzo Ball, which we're going to get to later, that may end up being a distraction. I think because they know he's leaving after this year, so it may be a little bit of a distraction. And whether people like to admit it or not, stuff like that can mess up a little bit of the chemistry of the team. So, yeah, man, this is one of the best sports times of the year because this tournament is so unpredictable. And like Hugh just alluded to, the upsets. You know it's going to be some bracket busters. You just can't pick the higher seeds. You know, you're going to have a 12 beat a 5. You know, you're going to have a 10 beat a 6. 11 or a 10 beat a 7 or wherever it's going to be. You know, so it happens. So you're going to have some bracket busters. But I think all in all, it's either going to be Kentucky or Kansas. And it might end up being Coach Calipari again at Kentucky. So that's my thing. I think Kentucky's going to win it.
Okay, so as we know, basketball is not my ultimate sport. But
I quit hating on
I
basketball.
want Michigan to win. You said what?
I said you're going to have to quit hating on basketball.
I know. I mean, it's cool. I was watching LeBron get beat last night by Houston.
Jesus.
I was like, go Houston, go Houston, go Houston. They came back to
they did.
Yes,
Yes, they were
I was just so happy. I don't know. But so I was looking it up, and you got a few folks that think that Kansas is going to do it. That Kansas is taking it all. That it's going to come down to Duke and Kansas.
Duke? Oh, hell no.
That's funny.
Yeah, we got a few on CBS Sports. They have their brackets up. And Chip Patterson and Matt Norlander are going Duke and Kansas City in the end, and Kansas City taking it.
Jesus.
Now, why do you say Duke like that? You don't think they?
Duke is one of them teams that people feel comfortable in picking because it's Coach K, and Coach K can coach. But you look through this season, even last year, and Duke has a history of playing athletic teams in the tournament, and it's not good. It's not a good record. I mean, Hugh, you can back me up on that. Whenever Duke plays athletic teams, they get waxed. they run into a brick wall in that factor because they play such a controlled style of basketball. And when they deal with those athletic, long, lanky guys and those quicker guards, it's kind of hard to keep up for them. So I just say Duke is really they get that notoriety based on Coach K alone, not the talent. They ain't even looking at the matchups or nothing like that. They're looking at Coach K. Like Coach K could probably coach them through, you know what I'm saying, this bracket or whatever and get them to a title game. But they're not strong enough this year. And the team is young and they're inexperienced and they're kind of they don't listen. You know, you got their leader, Grayson Allen. He a loose cannon. He tripping and elbowing people and slapping coaches on the sideline. Like Grayson Allen does something else this year. So it's like, you know, I just don't see them doing nothing. I really don't. Not like that. I don't even see them getting to the Sweet 16.
Man, I agree.
If they do, they out of there.
I definitely think they're going to be a one and done.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I think that North Carolina is going to be deadly, too, as well, because of their athleticism. We've seen that when they played Duke, and they just wiped the floor with them. And that's when the Grayson Allen incident happened where he, you know, elbowed the man because he felt like he was getting too many points on him and scoring on him at will. And he went up and tried to drive to the basket and came up with a cheap shot elbow. Still didn't help them because they got blew out. But, yeah, I just don't really think it's Duke gear. They need to rebuild and to get some better recruits. But I think the Coach K alone thing, what James was mentioning, is the reason why a lot of people think that they'll be okay because they feel like he can coach them up. But people feel the same way about Mike Izzo, you know. But you got to have the players in there, too, in your program to actually help out as well. You just can't do it off of a coach alone, man, because the coach can't go out there, shoot up a couple of jump shots on the perimeter and shoot some threes and grab some rebounds for you. The player's going to have to, and it all starts with the Grayson Allen kid, who is a hothead, man. I don't see it going well. Definitely if something happened to where, like, because North Carolina was, like, really getting the best of them that game, and he lost his cool and just elbowed the guy. I just don't really feel like he has the composure or he has the patience to lead that team.
Yeah, he don't. He don't have the patience at all.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so
if your leader's him too, you know you're in trouble.
Right.
So, like, do y'all think that we still in GW this whole tournament thing? Do you think that it's overboard or just being extra with them showing like live reactions to the teams that make it or don't make it to the tournament? Hugh?
Not really. They kind of do it every year, who they figure they think is going to go and who's going to be in a power position at some point. So I definitely understand why they do that. You know, we all do it as far as when it comes to the brackets. We get the brackets. We predict who we feel like is going to be there. And to be honest with you, some people try to do these brackets too because money's involved. You get that bracket right, you go get some money in return, definitely if you put your brackets in, you know. So I definitely feel like doing that. You know, it's something that we all do. It's just basically figuring the best teams and the conferences and who are all going to meet up at the end, and then it gets to the, you know, Final Four to the championship. And that's just something that they've been doing for years, ever since I was a kid, you know. And they get so bad at one point, even Barack Obama went out there and predicted the bracket, you know. But, yeah, it's just basically what we do, and that's just us putting the best teams to our knowledge in there and figuring out who's going to win. But, no, I don't think it's overblown or anything. It's just something we've been doing for years now. I feel like it's damn near tradition now.
Oh, okay. James, what you think?
You know what, Monique? I think it comes to a point where when I was sitting this out last night, late by the way, because I was tired, man. I had to cook, I hadn't eaten or whatever. So when I was sending this out, as I was writing it, I was getting agitated. And even when I watched it, the kids and stuff, they showing the live reactions and stuff, I was getting irritable looking at it. And before we got on the air, I was looking over the topics today, and I came to that, and I kind of, my outlook was a little bit mellow, and then it clicked. Sometimes, I know Hugh just mentioned that's been around since we were younger, and I used to love it. I used to love seeing guys because I used to follow basketball, college basketball, to a T. I'm talking about all the conferences. Yeah, all the conferences nobody even thought of. I was watching them, So I was seeing if they would get in or stuff like that. And I think sometimes you just outgrow stuff. And that's for anything, video games or whatever. I couldn't even, somebody asked me to, unless it's like my girlfriend's son or something, I probably wouldn't play video games. With a grown man, like, dude, hey man, you gonna come over and play 2K? No, I'm straight. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm good. Like, I don't even care to play video games like that no more. But sometimes you just outgrow things. And I think with that, I don't know. My outlook on it is probably necessary for the younger generation. They probably like that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like just seeing their names pop up on the bracket. They've been playing hard all season, and they heard they were in the bubble, getting in the tournament, and then their name just pops up on the screen. Their team name just pops up on the screen. It's exciting. It's exhilarating. So they're like, ooh, yeah. And I think that's more for the younger generation to really get excited and stuff about. But me, I'm just like, it's irritating. Like, because that's taking, to me, I want to see the whole bracket, like right then and there. I want them to keep going and breaking down the matchups. We cutting live to D.C. where Northwestern's waiting on their fate and all this, and I'm just like, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care. And most of the times now, I'll be knowing when a team is going to get in the tournament or when they're going. I knew Syracuse wasn't going to go. Why show a live reaction of them not getting their names called? I don't care. So I think I've grown out of that part of bracket reveal Sunday. I don't care.
Okay. Wow. Someone's a grumpy cat today. But I'm just saying, like, it's just reaction. Like, number one, our society. We want to see it all. If we can see it,
the reality shit.
But that's the reality. We want to see it.
Do you really think? It probably would have been popular back then. Like if we would have, like back in the late 80s, 90s, if we had technology like we do now, and then we had reality shows going on back then, it might have been popular. You know what I'm saying? We grew up on a lot of fantasy reality stuff. I mean, fantasy fictional stuff. We didn't grow up on reality things. Like now, back in the day, girls had Jim and the Hologram. They had, on the TV, they had women who were good role models. Beautiful black women and, women of all races as good role models back then. And they were, granted, they were fictional. Yeah, they were fictional. They were written to be that way.
Their
but now
characters
you
were
have
role models.
Exactly. Well, I mean, yeah, like I said, they were fictional, but they were still something that was ideal to look at. Like Claire Huxtable, she was ideal to look at for like women and stuff. You know how a mother should be or how a wife should be. Now you have Love and Hip Hop, Real Housewives of Atlanta. All they do is argue, fight, take away from their natural beauty. You know, getting breast augmentations, butt augmentation, all that stuff, just to become sex symbols for the TV and stuff like that. So I think that reality era takes away from the pure nature of something. And that's how I feel. Like, I don't need to see what's going on, like, behind the scenes with the basketball teams and stuff. I don't care. Like, I want the purity of the game. I want to keep that purity of the game, but I get it. I get it, though. I get why people watch the reality stuff. And then I get why, you know what I'm saying, the younger generation will like that, because I liked it back in the day. You know what I'm saying? But I just grew out of it now. So I can't hate on, like, super, you know what I'm saying, super hate on the fact that they do that, because they do it for, you know what I'm saying, a target audience. And I think they target some of the younger guys, you know, especially the recruits. No? So.
I look at it like, I feel you though, man. It's like most times we just be wanting to watch the game as we get older. It's not the grumpiness. It's just, you know, we just want to see the game, you know. It's already going to be hype around the tournament itself, you know. So I definitely can feel where you're coming from.
I think that it's to promote, number one, and try and garner excitement about the tournament that's coming. And for you, if you at home, like you were saying, while you getting your bracket, and it's like, wait, let me see. I think they made it. Like, you celebrating because your team made it. You know what I'm saying? So they won't. It's like, I think they're trying to make it more. What's the word? I think they're trying to bring it closer to the people, so that the people are there in the excitement and the downside of what it is.
To make
and
them feel
also,
like they're in it
like,
almost.
Like you're a part of it. You're not just a fan that's buying tickets.
Yeah.
You're part of this whole process. So when we lose, you see us lose. When we win, you see us win. And on the stage and behind it too. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what it's trying to, you know, bring more fans and stuff to the table by trying to be more open with things. And it's probably aimed at young, like maybe high school players that want to go to these schools and see how, it can teach, and depending on how they react, like as far as the losers, the ones that's not going, it could teach these younger players sportsmanship. Like, yeah, you didn't make it, but, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to be, angry, rah, rah, rah. It just be like, all right, we just got to do better next time. So I think it could be a learning lesson in it, too. But, you know, we'll see. Maybe, you know, the older people get and the grumpier they become, they don't want to see it. See the young people out there living their dreams. I'm just saying, Jay. But, so.
I ain't about to deal with your junk this week, Monique.
So, I had to. It was just right there. We gonna stick with basketball and talk about Mr. Lonzo Ball, father LeVar Ball, and him and his over promoting of his son and unnecessary comments and everything that I'm seeing. It's like your son is a freshman, and he's going to be right now. He can go to Golden State, and your son, and then you take Curry and come here, and your son's going to do better than Steph Curry right now. Like, you sound real crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, for me, as a parent, my son is the most awesome thing since sliced bread. and I'm a push him forever. But I'm not gonna go about it this way. So, James, as a dad, what do you think of LeVar Ball?
First of all, before I start, because I could see how Monique just how she introduced the topic when she came to LeVar Ball's comments. She took a breath, and she probably feel the same way I do about it. Hugh, have you heard this dude?
Yeah, I hear about that clown, man. I think he crazy.
Oh my God! They actually had a special on him yesterday on ESPN. I was watching when I was getting the house together after the having the no lights thing. But Monique, Hugh, this is what LeVar Ball is doing is the perfect picture. It's the perfect frame for what not to do when your child is in the spotlight. And what I mean by that is I actually heard him on Undisputed with Shannon Sharp and Skip Bayless. And Shannon Sharp was asking some legitimate questions. He was like, you don't think you're putting pressure on your son or whatever, or you don't think it's putting you out there or taking attention away from your son or whatever. And dude was so, what's the word I'm looking for? He was so, like, I don't want to say defensive, but he was putting them off like, y'all can't tell me shit. Like, whatever you have to say, I don't give a damn about what you got to say. I'm going to just keep doing what I'm doing. And people like that irritate me. The I'm setting my ways person. They irritate me to no end. Because what Shannon and them were trying to say is, it's not your spotlight to have. It's your son's spotlight to have. Like Monique said, I believe the same thing about my daughter. Hugh, if you have children later on, I know how you are, bro. I know you're going to feel the same way about your children.
Absolutely.
So I believe my daughter is the best thing since sliced bread as well. Monique just said the same thing about her son. The way LeVar Ball talks, he feels the same way about his 3 boys. He still got 2 in high school. That's fine.
No,
I don't even Go ahead. Go ahead, Monique.
He think we think best thing since sliced bread. He think best thing since Jesus. I'm just saying. Like
right.
The Messiah has returned. Like
see, I don't mind him saying, I feel like my sons can transcend something. That's fine. That's okay. But when you start comparing and contrasting your kid who's still in college and some that's still in high school to guys who are putting in work in the NBA and stuff like that, that's added pressure. And you're taking that attention that they're getting or could get, and you're pointing it to you. Yesterday, when I was watching the little special they had, they barely showed Lonzo Ball and his brothers. They showed something that I thought was pretty cool. They have the little when they all meet up, when Lonzo comes back and visit, they had dinner together, and him and his brothers challenge each other. They go out and have the backyard wars, playing ball, playing one-on-one with each other, which is cool. But the whole special was on his daddy. Why?
Right.
What's the point? Why the whole special on his daddy? Now, I don't dislike LeVar Ball because I commend any man who's in their son's life and in their kid's life and, you know, devotes time like that. So I think he's a hell of a man in that regard. But it just seems like how he is, he seems flashy. Like when they get to the league, watch. I guarantee you we'll be talking about him again. Watch. Because I've seen it before. You know what I'm saying? I've seen dads and mothers and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? We've seen mothers and stuff, you know, sitting in the front row and flashy and, you know, LeBron James' mama, he had to calm his mama down. He had to get her together. She was banging the teammates and everything. So it came to the point where LeBron had to step in, like, hey, you have to go sit down somewhere. You can't be kissing my teammates, and then you end up sleeping with one, and got my head all rattled, and then you got me in.
She needs to take the seat.
Yeah, she in the media more than her son, and LeBron the best player in the world. You know what I'm saying? And at that time too. So you're in the media's eye more than your kid, and this is the same thing too. Why isn't Lonzo Ball or his brothers getting invited to Undisputed? Why the daddy?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So the spotlight is redirected. It's not him putting in that direct, I'll say direct work, because it's the kids that's in the spotlight. They the ones that got to get recruited and stuff. So I just feel like he has the greatest heart and intentions for his boys. He's just going about it the wrong way. It's like, okay, all right, yeah, it's our time to shine. I'm about to be in the spotlight and tour with my boys. And nah, dog, you missed that. You know what I'm saying? You had your opportunity. You missed it. You coached your boys up to be better. You know what I'm saying? So let them fly. Let them shine. Let them do their thing. You stand in the background. Let them take care of you. You know what I'm saying? And say, thanks, Dad. You know, do that thing or whatever. And if you do an interview with your boys, do it as a classy dad. You know what I'm saying? If you want to get your personality out there, you can do it then. But don't be putting yourself at the forefront. Because he's the star right now. He on all these shows and getting interviewed and everything. I'm telling you. His son's going to be in the D-League. I'm for real, because of him. They're going to be in the D-League because they're going to be trying to live up to those expectations. And it's going to affect them. I'm telling you.
About Mr. Ball.
I definitely think that he kind of out of line in this case. We all know that we want what's best for our kids, and we always going to feel like our kids is better than what we probably go out and say. We'll humble ourselves before we make these, crazy, predictions like, LeVar doing right now. I just think that he needs to relax, let his sons do what they do. You don't see, his son, Lorenzo talking all this crazy stuff, man. He just being humble and playing the game he loves. I just don't really like the fact that the dad is the one who's talking all this stuff right now. Keep your mouth shut and let me play the game. I don't see you out there shooting the ball or doing anything I'm doing. Yes, I appreciate him being in his son's lives. Not only that, but backing his sons and feeling like his sons are going to be great. But the expectations, man, this dude is just basically starting at UCLA, man. He ain't been there for a long time. He's really trying to get his feet wet. But then to say he'll be better than Stephen Curry, who's one of the premier players in the league right now, and he's not even out of UCLA, so that means he's not so long been out of high school. So, yeah, don't put that added pressure on that boy. Like Shay said, man, he could be one of the biggest busts there is, man, by him doing so. So, yeah, he needs to be a little more careful of what he's saying and how he word and use his words, because you can put your son in a bad position, man. Just be quiet. Let the game come to your son, man. Let the greatness come to your son. Don't you start opening your mouth and talking crazy, writing checks that you can't cash right now. because he's only 1 year out of high school. If he could go to the NBA, and they could eat that dude and swallow him whole. You know, it's definitely a difference. You know, the transition from college to the NBA is totally different. Just like how it was with the NCAA guys in college and football coming to the pros. You see so many differences. The speed of the game is totally different. So, yeah, I just hope that, you know, his dad, you know, kind of stay calm, be quiet, and be more, you know, to the point where he'd be more humble with his son. Yes, we all feel like his son's a great player, man, and we think good things are going to come out from him, man. But at the same time, him opening his mouth and saying some of the things he's saying is not going to help his career, man. You know, he keep it up, man. He definitely will be a D-League, you know, extraordinaire. So, yeah, I just don't feel like that's fair for him to put that much pressure on his son and have all that spotlight as well when he's not doing anything to earn it.
Right.
So I already see him being on a future foot and mouth segment.
Pretty much.
He hasn't came to that yet. Give it a year. We'll still be here. Give it a year. It'll be there. He'll come out apologizing. But he kind of already backtracked on some of the stuff he said. Like he said, his son will only play for the Lakers. Oh, take that back. Take that back. Let's bring that back in. So that's one thing. I'm gonna put it in my notes for when he gets to the segment. But then another thing, not only is he creating unnecessary drama for his son, does he not realize that teams are looking at not just his son, but him? It's like you putting your son lower down the totem pole because you're making yourself more famous than your son is. Like, are you playing? Oh, I forgot you was out there shooting. Oh, you not? You out there passing? Oh, you not? You out there blocking? You out there assisting? Oh, you're not doing none of this. You're just talking. But most kids, we just try and defend our parents. So Lonzo defended his dad. He said, "My dad's a funny guy. People are coming up to me and saying, 'Are you embarrassed? Your dad said you're going to win the championship.' No, I'm not embarrassed. I know how he's going to act. I just go out there and play and let him be him." And that's cool and all, but I don't think Lonzo realizes the effect that his dad's behavior can have on his career.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have, as a student, I mean, I know he's still young, and that's his dad, and you always respect your parents. But he needs to tell his dad to, "Hey, Dad, can I be in the spotlight and you step back and just support me instead of going out here and starting feuds with all these people?" Charles Barkley, really? You starting a feud with Charles Barkley? Charles Barkley don't stop. Like, come on. And Charles is actually being kind of cool because he not going after the kid. He's like, your son is awesome, but Dad, you looking real stupid right now. And I hope the amount of pressure that he's putting on his son does not have a negative effect.
Absolutely.
Because
right.
You kill your kids when you do that. And especially in sports and how demanding it is and how hard it actually is to get into the NBA, he might want to and he's in school, so he still has to get the education. That's a little too much pressure from that dad. And I hope he steps back a little bit. But if he doesn't, I'll be waiting to talk about him and foot in the mouth. So we're going to stay on basketball because football season isn't here. We will talk about NBA players that take days off when there's nothing wrong with them, injury-wise. It's just, hey, I'm tired. I've been here. I need a break. I need a day off. So do you think that players should be able to have a day off? And if so, should those days be? It should be like a certain amount of days that you have off, or like what are your thoughts on players not wanting to come to work, James?
This here is Hugh, you remember that we talked about this a while back. I think when we started the show back up, so that was like last year sometime. We had talked about this, Monique, and I feel like you get paid to play. Okay, so if you're not injured, you should play. But here's the thing. It's starting to become about solely championships. Like, that's what the game is becoming now. And I've even heard that they were saying, oh, players get tired and they this, they that, and, you know, it's strenuous and the traveling and all this stuff. That's what you get paid for. You get paid millions of dollars. You know? You get paid millions of dollars. So you can hire, you know, people to help you, you know, get through the whole 82 games if you're healthy enough to play them. And I think it's a cheat. It's cheating the fans of an experience, you know, because that Golden State Warriors, San Antonio Spurs game this weekend was it was a bench war, pretty much. Like, all the benches are playing. Like, you know, and you already got KD out on the Warriors side. Kawhi Leonard was already out with a concussion. So you didn't have LaMarcus playing, really. Gasol didn't play. Like, it was just benches. So people don't play for that. You know, I know pay for that. I know they support their team no matter what. But this here shouldn't be supported at all. And I think, if anything, the fans should demand that the NBA do something about this. Either put out a report early, have them put out a report early, or start fining players or fining teams for doing that. Or give them a certain amount of time, or have them only do it at home, or whatever. No road game takeoff if they're not injured or anything like that. I think that's what they should do. I think this is just this is just a push for the championship. That's all it is. That's all it is. So I guess on another segment, I mean, it's a topic for another day. You know, is the pressure of winning the championship, is that ruining sports, period. So, yeah, that's my take on it. I think they should play. I think it's stupid.
Do you think that they should be forced to play?
Yes. If you're not hurt, yes. What you taking a day off for? What you taking a day off for? Like, if I signed a contract for where I work at, well, I actually did. But if they pay me up front, and I'm just like, oh, you know what I'm saying? And I have to, and I'm reported to come to work 82 days straight, right? I can't just take off. I just can't. Some jobs, they have a 30-day period or whatever. Like, if you take off within them 30 days, that marks against you. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like if I pay you up front, you sign this contract, and you get a signing bonus, so that's guaranteed money. That's in your pocket. And you telling me you're going to sit up here and not play, or the coach can just sit you down and be like, no, he ain't going to play. I'm going to rest him. For what? What you resting him for? The hell? Stupid.
Hear what you think about it.
I really think the NBA players nowadays are soft. we definitely talked about with Allen Iverson before and this whole situation where he said they were talking to him about this whole, resting or sitting out games. He said that they were talking to him and they said, well, how would you feel, Allen Iverson, if they told you going to sit this game and you don't have to play, you can take the day off? Allen Iverson said, absolutely not. Each and every night, I'm going to compete with the best players in the world. That's what you're paying me for. You should not force me to get out of a game. He said, if I'm beat up, battered, and bruised, I'll still try to shake it off to go out there and compete. I will not sit down if nothing's wrong with me. And he said that's just a part of the game. I know if any of us right now who's talking on this phone, and even the people who are listening right now, I know for sure if we had those talents, these athletes, these NBA athletes, and got all that money to play, and play the game we love. A lot of people, jobs, they might not love their jobs or had a passion for their jobs. But to play a game that you love and you grew up playing, to be able to play that game for 82 games and you're getting paid all that money, when it's hard-working people out here not even making as close to what you're making. Man, I just really feel like that's a spit in the face of all of us who have to work regular jobs, man, because think about it. Most times when you get a new job, when you first step foot in there, the first thing you're saying is, I got to make the best impression in these first 90 days. I can't miss a lot of days. I can't take no time off, because if I miss too much time in these 90 days, it's going to be a red flag, and it's a possibility on that 89th day that they will cut me. That's like 90 days straight. You maybe can miss a day or so out of 90 days. Barely too. I think too they probably will boot you. And that's just how it is. We had to go through things like that. But then you're looking at people who are NBA players who feel like they just want to rest and get ready for the playoffs. Man, I think that's spoiled. I think that's a joke, and it's a spit in the face to the game. So I really think hearing that now, I think it's a joke, and I feel bad. But the person who started all this, as a coach I respect and admire, Mr. Greg Popovich. He did that a lot with his players. He'll make a disclosed injury that's not really serious or something that's not even really, I don't even believe most times, be an injury. And he'll set out players so they can rest. And then, so they could be all fresh for the playoffs. Because most of his guys are those spring chickens anyway, the ones who was on the team, because Tony's no spring chicken. Ginobili, I'm surprised he's still playing. But then, that's when they had Tim Duncan and some of the other veterans on that team. And, he started all that stuff, and now it's to the point where it really got out of hand. I'm definitely hoping that they do something about it. At least let us know in advance for the people who are paying all their money and working hard to get these tickets to see these premier and the best star players, man. And then you're telling me they're not going to be there. What if I'm coming from, like, Alaska to come to Cleveland to see LeBron, and then I go there and he's not there? I want to get reimbursed, But they got to put those fans in consideration, and I don't think they do, for their own good and their own health, because they don't feel like doing something. Yeah, these dudes are spoiled and they're soft.
But I think you got to put that on the NBA, though, Hugh. Because, they got regulations and rules for putting out an injury report. So just say me, you, and Monique say, hey, let's go to a Pistons game. We want to see Andre Drummond play, right?
Right.
So before they even play the game, just say the game is Thursday. The injury report will be out way before Thursday. So we'll know, okay, hey, y'all hear Andre Drummond hurt himself or whatever? He ain't playing. All right, we'll go to another game. So we're gonna skip this one. And then imagine us saying, hey, let's go see Drummond play. And we get the tickets, we get to the Palace, and we sitting in the Palace, and it's 30 minutes before tip-off, and an alert comes on our phone that says, Stan Van Gundy has decided to sit Andre Drummond tonight. They have no regulations. They could sit them up into tip-off. I don't think that's fair. Somebody else dealt with the same thing. They wanted to see Curry and Klay Thompson play, and they wanted to see LaMarcus Aldridge and them play. They traveled. What happened? They found out that they weren't playing. Already had tickets and everything. So they need the NBA needs to regulate that. Like the teams just doing, you know what I'm saying, doing what they're
best for their players.
Exactly. So that regulation part needs to come from the NBA. Simple as that. You can go ahead, Monique.
Okay, so one reason I stopped watching basketball, because I used to watch the Bad Boys. I was a Pistons fan. I kind of liked the Bulls. I liked the Trailblazers. I liked the Celtics. I liked the Utah Jazz. John Stockton was my boy. I liked basketball. It got soft. And this is another example of how it's gotten soft. Like, I remember, like, no matter what was going on, Isaiah Thomas, broke ankle, foot, scored the highest amount of points in his career on that broke foot. Playing. Hurt. Yeah. Probably tired. They played harder back then. He was probably so tired. And all those players back then were probably so tired every day. Because you got practice and you got these games and it's like, oh my God, I'm tired. But guess what they did? They went out there and played regardless. Yeah. They played hard every night. And I think Isaiah Thomas said this best on Game Time at NBA.com. He said, they were talking about Kyrie Irving last year taking off. He said, we played for that peak performance, and I think guys play now for longevity. They preserve their body to play till 40, where we wanted to get the best out of our body every single night. That's how we approached it. And you can tell in the way they play. And now it's like, if you're not hurt, you sitting over here in your suit just cracking jokes and just laughing. Like, what's wrong with you?
Right.
You just want to do.
Right.
But on the other hand, I mean, you got to think about it. It's like if you're at the top, like they were talking about this article I read. We're talking about how Kobe Bryant worked out, and they was like Kobe got there at 11 in the morning. They had an 8 o'clock game. Kobe was still there practicing after everybody had left. He was still there around and practicing until 6:30 that night, and he had a game. And he only stopped because people start coming in. So if you're like a top player, you're going to put in more work than other players. So your body is going to get beat up more than the regular, whoever, the no-name players, the non-superstars of the team.
Right.
So, yeah, I can see it. But Kobe was still out there. Like, y'all, your job as an athlete, and you need to make sure what you do with your body goes along with what your job is. But again, I can understand, like I said, I can understand them being tired. And then sometimes if you're mentally tired, it can mess up your body cannot be tired. But if you're mentally tired, then that's bad, because that you're shutting down your brain. Like, no,
right.
It's so shut everything down. But it seems like now they need to sit down so much more, and they don't play as hard as they did. And I agree.
I'm telling you what it's about, Monique.
They soft, man. That's what it is.
I think it's to the point where I do agree with the soft thing, but I think you have to blame a lot of it on the league because of how they call fouls now. Huh?
I said the league and the coaches.
Yeah, I mean, they call a foul. They call a lot of ticky-tack fouls now. And then you got to realize that these guys they get away with a lot. You know what I'm saying? As far as, I'm tired stuff and all this. But here's the thing. This is what I was saying. It comes down to now where you're a superstar or whatever, the pressure to win championships is immense. It's immense pressure. So these guys don't want. You see what the Warriors did last year. Went 73-9. They sacrificed rest. Yeah, they sacrificed rest towards the end of the year to make that push. That's fine. You know what I'm saying? They ran out of gas at the end. Like I said, they lost momentum, and when they lost the momentum, they didn't have the energy. They didn't have the energy at the end to really, push forward. But here you go. If you want to sit down, you know what I'm saying? If you want to sit down, just like we have to call off work and stuff like that, we have to give significant, time or whatever we have to call and give significant notice so they can make, any adjustments they need to make to cover us or whatever. They should do the same for the fans because this is an era now where they don't too much care about the actual team per se, seeing the team play. They want to see an actual player. You know what I'm saying? Or a few players play.
Yeah.
If the Houston Rockets come to town, nobody ain't trying to see no goddamn Eric Gordon or no Lou Williams or nobody like that. Trevor Reason. They want to see James Harden. Yeah. Well, back in the day, Monique, Elijah Wine asked somewhere else in Nigeria still some shit. I'm talking about now. Monique, you tell us our age, Monique. Shut up.
No, that's when I stopped watching basketball. I told you.
Elijah Wine. Can you hush? People gonna be like, damn, they old.
Back to the dream, boy.
Right, but I was saying that they want to see James Harden. You know what I'm saying? Golden State come, they want to see Steph and Clay and them, and Durant and all them. Cleveland come, they want to see LeBron and Kyrie. Spurs come, we want to see Kawhi Leonard and them. And if they don't play, if they don't play, I want to know. They're not hurt because an injury report will stop me from buying a ticket before because it comes out at a certain time. But all right, man, sit down for the night. That'll stop me from buying the ticket if I get that a day or so in advance or whatever. Or a person should be able to get a refund. Hey, they're not playing, man. Let me get my money back.
Yeah.
So I feel like they should give a notice, at least a notice, to tell people come out. Hey, they may not play, or they're not playing, or they will have, they have to submit something to the league. Hey, they're not playing this day. You know what I'm saying? They play Monday, a back-to-back, Saturday and Sunday. They got a next game on Wednesday. We're gonna rest them. Okay. Put that in. Have that in by a certain date. So we can, so we can get the message out there so the people who's paying for this shit can make a choice. They're like, hey, I still want to see the Warriors. I still want to watch the Warriors play. I still want to watch the Pistons or my Bulls. You know what I'm saying? That's how I'll watch basketball either way. You know what I'm saying? I watch the whole game. Because I was looking at certain stuff within the game, and the Spurs look like they'll be hard as hell to beat because of how their bench are. So I look at it different. Everybody don't look at the game like I look at it or like you look at it, Hugh. They don't look at it like that. They don't study it all the way. They like, hey, I want to see this player. You know what I'm saying? So
that's
I feel like they should do that because I feel like it's unfair. It's unfair to the fans. That's how I feel. I feel like you're cheating them out of an experience.
I disagree with that. If you're going to see a team, you're going to see a team. If the star player not there, oh well, be a fan of the team. If you're just a fan of the player, wait for him to play by himself. Get over it. So on that note, should real Owens get over not being getting slighted by the NFL Hall of Fame for a second year?
Yeah. He should definitely get over it. Because his attitude is one of the reasons why I think that they indicated a lot of the things. I don't think that should be one of the things that keep him out because I felt like he was a great player. But I don't feel like I felt like some of the records he broke was astonishing, but I don't really feel like he did enough. What did she do, the foundation of T.O.'s work that put him in so early right now? You know, I know it's taken a while for him to get in. Eventually, I feel like he will get in there, but there's a lot of other people who I feel like who deserve to be in there who's not in there yet. And I feel like, well, he will eventually get in there. But for now, I think that he should just, put on his big boy drawers, brush it off, and keep it moving because I feel like that he will get that opportunity. But there's guys that still definitely should get that opportunity right now before he get in. Some people waited 20 years before they got in, and these are some of the best players that I've seen. I'm like, damn, it took these guys that long to get in, and T.O.'s not in yet. I mean, I don't feel like he should be upset about it. Get over it. Eventually he may be in there. Maybe not, but I don't really feel like it's that serious, though.
James?
Grrr. That's my response. No, I'm playing. But I mean, okay. I thought that I just got distracted. I'm sorry because I'm watching ESPN. They're announcing the women's bracket for NCAA tournament, the women's tournament, and they doing that. What I was just talking about, the showing the reactions and stuff. Man, no, I don't see this shit. I'm about to turn to something else. Law and Order on or something. I'm fine with that crap.
Don't act like that.
Shut up, Monique. I'm for real, man. I'm trying to find. I don't even know where the remote at. The dog must have hit the remote or something. I don't know. She want to watch it.
Now watch the women's championship. Watch it.
Oh, I'm gonna watch the tournament. I don't want to watch this.
I'm talking about this. Look at them women up there. Go ahead, girls.
Shut up, Monique. Oh man. But I'm trying to figure out what's the main criteria for the Hall of Fame. And last time I looked, it was numbers. Like your playing career gets you into the Hall of Fame. What is he? He's if I'm not mistaken, here's one of them things again I gotta think about. So he's what? He's second. He correct me if I'm wrong, Hugh, or Monique, if you want to look on Google, you can. But he's second in touchdowns, right?
That I still remember. Yeah.
Receiving touchdowns, he's second. He's third or something in yardage, something like, or receptions or whatever. How those numbers don't get you into the Hall of Fame? And he was the best team. I mean, he was the best player on every team that he played and went to a Pro Bowl on each of his teams that he played. So my whole thing is, how in the hell this man wasn't a first ballot Hall of Famer? And I thought about it. They're giving him a reality check. They were waiting. And, you know, when you deal with writers and stuff like that, and, I mean, I'm pretty sure Monique going to do the second part of that question. We can get to that. But they be ready to snub people. You know? And T.O.'s attitude was T.O.'s attitude. He had a complex. But that doesn't take away his numbers and what he should be in the Hall of Fame. And he should have been first ballot. No discussion. No if he should whatever, this or the other, because it's based solely on numbers. Now, they put in there how he dealt with the media or how he did this, did that. I understand. They got to think about it some more. But it's solely on numbers. And I feel like this is a travesty. They're railroading this dude. They're trying to humble him, and they're doing it in the wrong way because this isn't the time to humble somebody because he's a Hall of Fame guy. He got Hall of Fame numbers. So, to me, it baffles me. I don't understand. He should be pissed off about it. He's going to get in. He's going to get in. So,
most definitely.
Yeah, him forgetting about it is that's not even a issue. He's gonna get in, but will it be year 3 next year, or will it be year 4 or whatever? They let who is that? I forget. Well, I mean, Kurt Warner has some good numbers, but I can mention him. I can mention Terrell Davis. LT has some good numbers. They're not ranked number 2 all time or nothing like that in their categories. T.O. is, though. So my thing is he should have been first ballot. This is some bullshit that they using to try to humble this man or whatever because he can't change the past. He is who he is. He talks shit and he put up numbers. So I feel like they should be ashamed of their damn self for not having T.O. in this Hall of Fame right now.
So, to the people that vote for the Hall of Fame are writers it's a 48 selection group. And they have 32 players from each city with a Major League Football team. Okay. And they have 2 members of the Hall of Fame. And which is part of another 16 members of active media. So, James, you were saying, should the sports writers vote for, make the nomination for the Hall of Fame? And they do.
Yeah.
What the issue is that they don't see is they don't separate the off field with the on field.
Absolutely.
What one person was saying is that the reason is because despite the on field greatness, that they think what he did in the locker room is an extension of on the field. Because I guess, like we all know, tensions can raise in the locker room and come out and affect your on-field play. But if you're supposed to be biased and just look at what he's done, he's second in receiving under Jerry Rice. You ain't no Jerry Rice, man. Like, what do you mean?
Mm-hmm.
You can't say, and then like the same people that vote Hall of Fame are some of the same people that vote for Pro Bowl. So his off-the-field actions didn't matter when you voted him 5 times for the Pro Bowl. 5. But now it matters for the Hall of Fame. He's the same person. But what I think
what it is, Monique.
I know. I mean, what I think what messes him up is, like, he just went on and said the Hall of Fame is stupid. What? You want to be in there? Things like that are the reasons he's not in it. Unfortunately,
that's no excuse
it should be that
because
way,
it is
but
stupid.
I mean, but regardless of the fact, if your reason for them not putting you in there is because of how your attitude and your behavior, then
that has nothing to do with his numbers, though, Monique.
And that doesn't matter. Obviously.
Yes, it do.
But obviously it
should.
It should.
But I'm saying, though,
they're supposed to be totally biased, but they're not. And because he knows that, he needs to not be the person that they saying he is. Like, you don't have to clap back.
He should shut up and be a good boy, good old boy.
No, I'm saying, look, if you want, people don't get angry about things that they don't want. You know what I'm saying? That don't matter to them. So this matters. So he doesn't think it's stupid, because you're not going to go on your little Twitter rant and say, oh, it's stupid, it's this, if you didn't care, if you didn't want to be in there, number one. So you're not making sense. Everybody, we know you want to be in there. Because if it didn't matter, it'd be like, oh, well, maybe next year.
He ain't saying the Hall of Fame stupid. He's saying the process is stupid, because this is the second year. Now, everybody's not first ballot. He's first ballot. You drop the ball on not putting him in the first ballot. Then you don't put him in his second ballot. That's right there. It does become stupid. To be honest, it does become stupid. It's retarded.
You got to think, you're dealing with humans. In any situation, we are not going to just look at what we're supposed to look at, because we're human, and that's not how we work. Calm down a little bit. It might be better for him, because he knows why he's not in there. He knows. Honestly, he knows. He might not want to tell himself, but he knows why. So he just needs to stop doing it, and then maybe it could work out better for him. I'm just saying, sometimes you just gotta just chill out, not say nothing.
Oh, no, that's
what's
retarded.
The point of saying something?
I'm making no damn sense. What's the point of not saying something?
But what's the point? You can't answer. Come on now.
No, I'm saying, what's the point of him not saying something? He should be able to say what's on his mind and not have his numbers overlooked, because the criteria for getting in the Hall of Fame is numbers. So that's my whole point, Monique. Like, I see what you're trying to say, but you're saying the same thing, and how the writers feel, and that's what they're doing. They're trying to humble him.
No, I'm not saying the same thing. What I'm saying is, if you want, sometimes if you to get somewhere that you know you want to go, you do not have to say, yeah, you can respond, but not react. And we, as adults, we know the difference in that. He's reacting and not responding. Because the reacting is saying Hall of Fame is stupid. Responding is, well, while I don't necessarily appreciate or understand the reasons for them not putting me in there, I know I should be there. But all I can do is wait. It's not, you don't have to, like I said, clap back. You can say something and not come out looking like an asshole and a bitter little kid. That's what he looks like. Instead of doing that, go take another route. And you can still do the same thing, but go another way about it, because all you're doing is perpetuating what they said about you in the first place.
Monique,
so
if you feel like you was railroaded for something or treated bad, you just gonna be you're not gonna stand up for yourself.
But he's not standing up for himself.
I know you. Stupid. I know you, Monique. I know you. You're gonna stand up for yourself.
But I know how to.
You're not just gonna let nobody treat you like whatever.
But see, that's the thing. I know how to do it. Yeah, I know how to do it though.
But sometimes some things need a more firm stance. That's what I'm saying. I understand.
You can say it firmly, but you can, if you choose your words wisely. Maybe I could jump to this foot in the mouth thing. If you choose your words wisely, you can say the same thing, but it could be taken a totally different way. because you thought about how to say it. Anyway, before Mr. James puts his foot in his mouth,
I ain't gonna put no foot in my mouth. T.O. should be in the goddamn Hall of Fame.
That's
the whole point. Shit.
I'm
mad.
Andre. Can we talk about Andre?
Iguodala.
Iguodala. There we go.
Andre, who's your mama?
Yeah.
Andre, who's your mama?
So this segment is going to be start being called foot in the mouth because we got so much of it coming these last couple of weeks. What he did was he's of Golden State, and he used the N-word in an interview with some reporters in the locker room. And the N-word came up. He said something like, yeah, what was the dumb, can I say the N-word? I don't want to get fined.
Go ahead.
No racial.
We on internet radio.
He
said,
good.
As long as you got that cocoa brown skin, you can.
It's rotisserie gold, but thank you. But he said,
pardon me.
He said like they said something. He was like, what's the dumb nigga gonna do? And then he said something like, well, they say, why you not playing? He like, I didn't know. I got to do what Master say.
Oh.
So I have to work on it. And I'm a wait for mine. But do y'all think he should get in trouble?
Crazy, man.
That fool deserved more. He deserved more than the fine he got. He definitely should have got more of a fine than the $10,000. I think it was kind of comical that he said that, though. But like you said, Monique, man, it's a way to do things, and I just don't feel like he was being professional, man. In the NBA or whatever career you have, you're supposed to have a certain amount of professionalism. A lot of the guys don't use it. It really embarrasses me, like how Boogie Cousins do his interviews and how people say ignorant things, not even just in basketball, but in football, any sport. If a black person don't use their words wisely and talk street, man, that really offends me. I just feel like he should have came across a little better than what he did, because now not only did this happen, but the part about that I'm going to do what Master tell me to do, man, he might have just put his foot in his mouth. That's a double foot in the mouth, and he might put one in his ass, because I don't see him in Golden State right after this season. They're going to do something to make him obsolete over there. So, yeah, I really feel like he did a little too much, and he said more than he could actually chew. And saying that stupid stuff, man, I guarantee you he won't be on Golden State, or his minutes might decrease. Come on, Andre, man, you better than that, man. Just feel like he's never done anything ignorant like that in his whole career. Now he's just showing his true colors. Maybe I guess he's a little offended or hurt right now because the team loses, but he definitely could have used his words wisely more, and I just feel like he's an idiot for that.
James?
Oh, my God. I briefly heard some of it earlier today when they were showing it. Briefly, I heard it, and then they buzzed the N-word out. So I stopped kind of paying attention to it. So I went to World Star Hip Hop, and that's why anybody listens to the show, I mention that every now and again. Anybody knows me, that's my guilty pleasure. I always go to World Star Hip Hop, and I get a laugh out of all them fights and them fight comps and all that stuff. So that's my guilty pleasure website. But I was on there, and they had the unedited version, and I heard him say the N-word. That's what good nigga do and all this stuff or whatever. And when he said when he found out that they were taking a day off or whatever, and they was asking him how he feel about it, He said, well, we got to do what masters say. That's crossing the line, I think. Like, as far as I see that he was probably trying to joke. That's a joke you do within the locker room with your teammates and your coach. Steve Kerr probably Steve Kerr even came out and was like, you know what I'm saying, we in a good place, like we good, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. But he probably played with them like that. But the media and the public don't know. And I agree with Hugh. I think he should have got more of a fine because you don't drop N-bombs like that on TV. You know what I'm saying? Like that. You got to be, you know what I'm saying, a little bit more professional. You're a professional. You got to carry yourself as such in that regard. But, yeah, man, this might be his last little swan song in Golden State. I agree with you, Hugh. I think that's probably his last swan song because he kind of I wouldn't say he's unhappy, but I just think he's just I don't know. He just look kind of over everything. Like it is what it is. Like I don't even care no more. Whatever, you know. So yeah, I mean he really seemed nonchalant as hell when he was doing that interview. Did y'all see his body language? Did y'all see how he was looking?
Yeah, he was ready to go. But also,
I know.
Like, I can't find the full interview. Like I've been trying to find the full interview, but all I can find is the snippet. But they say that he was talking to a reporter. The reporter was getting on his nerves. So he's like, all right, fuck it. This is what you about to get. You want to keep getting on my nerves? These are the answers. This is the response. And he looked irritated. And like when the person asked the question, he was just when they was talking, he was looking irritated. But when he responded, he was laughing. So I don't know. Maybe I'm playing devil's advocate. But who was mad about him saying the N-word?
Who was mad?
I just feel like it was unprofessional.
I don't think it was too much about people getting mad. It just seems like when it comes to like public opinion, when saying it publicly, I think that word is forbidden. And I think us as black people we've done that. We've made that word forbidden in the public eye.
No,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah. No, we made it acceptable among ourselves.
No,
ourselves, we made it acceptable.
It's impossible.
You cannot go on television right now and say nigga this, nigga that, and Al Sharpton. No, none of the black people, anybody, just let that ride. They will condemn you before a white person would. So I'm saying that they've made it that way. So it's an outcry for him not to say that word in public because amongst us, we'll say it. It's like almost a term of endearment with us. It's almost like saying homeboy or dog. I mean, I understand, but I feel like I'm not bound to that word. That word don't mean that to me. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people don't feel bound by that actual word. You know what I'm saying? So there's people who may get offended by dog. What's up, dog? I ain't no damn dog. You know what I'm saying? So they may take it literal. Some people may get called the N-word and think of, oh, no, man, that word was used to enslave my people and all this and blah, blah. So, I mean, everybody takes it different. So I just think it's how you accept the word. I don't call everybody that, you know what I'm saying, because I know everybody's not accepting to that word. So I respect that. You know what I'm saying? I respect that. I wouldn't say, oh, man, you wrong as hell for – no. They don't want to be called that. I'm not going to call them that. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to say sir or, call them by their name. You know what I'm saying? But, I mean, I think it was just it was an eyesore. Well, an ear sore, I should say, to hear that word in an interview, and he just said it so nonchalantly. He didn't even say, "Oop," like catch it. So he said what he wanted to say. Like, he didn't give it.
Got his point across.
Yeah, and he got fined for it. You see what I'm saying? So,
and I don't,
you know what I'm saying? So that's what I was saying. It's not acceptable, and I think we've made it not acceptable by our leaders coming out against that word because they don't want white people to use it no more. That's how I think it is. They don't want us to use it because they're scared that white people may start using it again or whatever or what have you. And I just feel like that word don't bound me to nothing. Almost like calling somebody, if you were to say, you weak or you this, you that, or whatever. Just because you call me that don't mean I'm that. So, I mean,
right.
That's how I feel about it.
Okay, well, I look at the N-word in a different way. I don't like it just because I just don't like it. Like, I don't like females call each other bitch. They like, hey, bitch, no. My name is Monique. Like, I tell people, call me cracky. I call me cracky. I don't care. That's short for crackhead. It's not true, but I think it sounds kind of cool. I'm weird like that, but it's just certain things I don't like. The N-word, I think people African Americans took the power away when we changed it from nigger, the word that should offend people, and switched it to nigger and made it our own word. Now, nigger and nigger, to me, two different things. You know what I'm saying? Like, now, like I said, I don't like to be called that word. I try not to use the word just because personal preference. But if I say nigga, I'm not being rude or talking down to you. If I'm talking about white people, like this my nigga, this my people, whatever. Now, if I say nigger, we got a problem. You know what I'm saying? So I think people put too much power into the word after we tried to take the word, the hate and stuff out of the word and try to embrace it and make it our own. I think people put too much on it. Also, I think that I agree with y'all where he this probably was not the place for him to use the word because he said it was an inside joke with the team. Okay, this is where his foot is in his mouth, that for me, that it should not have been said in front of the reporters. But I also think that he got fined not for the nigga, but for the master. And I'll tell you why. Because all of the racial tension going on in the world, period, thanks to the orange man in the White House, that the white people are trying to distance themselves from looking like slave masters or looking like any light of racism in the NBA, especially in these big sports leagues where it goes on. A lot of stuff has been revealed over the past election. How many racist owners and all this stuff that we deal with. And I think by him saying master, that's what pushed him over the top. Like, wait, no, don't reveal the truth.
He's an idiot for that.
Stop it. You shouldn't have said that. Now they gonna know how y'all look at us and how y'all possibly feel that we treat you like you are slaves. No, you're not taking a day off. Slave. You know what I'm saying? But I think the master word, I'm not saying they slaves because they get paid swell. So don't nobody think I'm saying that they slaves, but I'm saying that because the NBA is trying to back away from any racist anything, that the master word is what take people to make it look like it's some racial tension going on within the NBA and within this team. That's why I think the fine came in for the word master. Because the coach, Steve Kerr, if he's supposed to be the master, he said, well, he's joking. He like, y'all got Andre. That's what happened. That's right, it. Yeah. Y'all got Andre. He said, Andre is one of those guys who likes to stir the pot and has a lot of cryptic messages at times, jokes around. I wasn't offended by anything he said personally. But you know, he chose some words that were questionable and got to respond to that. The coach
pretty much
don't care. He know it was nothing personal about him. He know that. You know what I'm saying? I think the $10,000 fine was for the word max. Because if it was all over him saying the N-word and all these, they said he was $10,000 fined by the league for racially insensitive remarks. Who is the word nigga racially offensive to said by a black man? Nobody.
Exactly.
What black man?
Exactly.
This black man shouldn't have said nigga. No.
Hey, Monique, that's why I just said that. We made the word unacceptable. We did that.
But
in a way, man, no man in this world sit up here and say, "Oh, what the hell, $1,000?"
That's what I'm saying. So he didn't get fined for that. He got fined because he said massive.
For saying massive?
Yes. Come on now. People that say, I'm so angry. No, you just shucking and jiving because you think that's what you're supposed to say. Because if you say it regularly, then you don't think there's nothing wrong with it. So don't shuck and jive now and put your tap dance shoes on, Mr. Bojangles, and say that he wrong because you just said it 10 minutes ago. He just said it in front of people. Like, no. So that's that foot in the mouth. I'm just saying, I don't think he apologized. He made it right, but hey, we'll see how this all works out. So, did we have a good show, guys?
Yeah, we missed the topic though.
No.
Yes, we did.
The free agency.
Catch us next week. We'll be talking about the NFL free agency. And hopefully,
that's next week because they're not done yet.
More things. I know, that's what I'm saying. You'll have more. We'll have more to talk to you about, more in depth, and more decisions to be made.
Oh, it's a lot happened. It's a lot of stuff happened already.
Hey, Monique.
I know, right? We have more
with that just being said, I'm gonna let you know this right now. Hugh is secretly mad right now.
Uh-oh. He was waiting on that.
This is Hugh.
Pretty much more than anything else in the league right now, because I can throw it in everybody's face how my boys was doing this year. And I think not only did they win the Super Bowl, they win in the free agency right now, too. So, yeah, I was a little hurt, not to mention that. I even gave my man J. Lou a picture of Brandon Cooks in the New England jersey already.
Yeah. So
before the show, because I was that excited.
So next week,
what?
Monique.
Now you can be more excited next week. Hugh, you got it.
So next week, that's what we opening up with next week.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Free agency. So this whole Tony Romo thing is still going, in the air. So
Dallas is whack for doing what they're doing. That's just Dallas being Dallas. They whack for that. Come on, man. Want to hold this man hostage. Disappointed
like
them all the way.
That's like the UFC not wanting no boy to fight Mayweather.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of figured that. I'm surprised that they talking about that might even happen now. I'm like, wow, really?
Yeah. Yeah. Mayweather putting that gas on the, he pushing down on the gas on it.
Yeah, he definitely wants that to happen. I see it now.
Yeah. Because they probably looked at the figures, and he was like, "Oh, we gotta do this fight." Yep.
All right, everybody. Well, thanks for listening.
Come on, Monique, close the show.
I thought you were talking. See what I'm saying?
All day.
No respect. I get no respect. I'm over here like Andrew Dice Clay, man. There's no respect. Anyway.
That's Rodney Dangerfield.
Guess what? It's these nuts right now. How about
that one? Monique is so angry today.
I'm not
angry. I'm a little aggressive self. Monique always been a bully. She always been a bully. She used to bully me all the time. She was bullying me all the time. She used to make me. Go back home and get food for her. Like, you smell like chicken. I ain't had nothing to eat. Go back down there and go get me some chicken. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, Monique, I just got off football practice.
You gonna tell people
I'm tired.
Yeah. Okay, how about eat a full 20-piece honey barbecue wings and some McDonald's fries, and I would eat mine and yours. So yeah, I would be hungry because I got to eat. So leave me alone. We will pick this up on Facebook or next Monday, okay? After Hugh gets to tell us all about the NFL free agency. So if you enjoyed if you enjoyed this show of Beyond the Bleachers with James, Hugh, and myself, Monique, we'll see you back next Monday. That's not a nice word. You'll get fined. You'll get fined. I'm going to fine you something. $2. You got $2 fine.
I turned
it. Yeah. Fine you.
I'm sorry.
So, everybody has an awesome week. People without power, we're praying that you get your power back on. Like I said, next week we kicking it off. No intros. We're going straight into the NFL free agency with Hugh. And we might let James talk. It all depends on if he brought me some food or not, like one of them cheesecakes. Just saying. We see y'all next week. Have a good evening.
You ain't?